Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or afternoon, or whenever you folks are watching this. Today we're going to be talking about something that we all consume on a daily basis, no matter if it's true or false. Information. Back in the days of yore, before the internet, information was closely examined by newspaper and television journalists to ensure accuracy and validity. Nowadays, however, that job now falls on us, thanks to the advent of the internet. Information has become so readily available thanks to it, but it also has its dark side. Any person on the internet can make up anything without any basis of fact. However, false information was never invented as a side effect of the internet. As a matter of fact, it existed for much longer than that. Back in 1807, U.S. President Thomas Jefferson was quoted as saying, "Nothing can now be believed which is seen in a newspaper." Even then, false information existed way before Jefferson or the U.S. But with it being so much easier to come across false information nowadays, it should be a good idea to learn how to check them to see what is true or false. With that being said, here are a couple of tips on how to identify if the information you are seeing is true or false. Step number 1, check out the source, including the author, publisher, and the original website. It is very easy to get caught up in a headline without having a clue on who wrote it. How said headline is treated depends on the person and the website. One side might be trying to inform you, but the other might try to deceive you. Look into the website or person deeper. Read an About section if that exists. If you need to dig deeper, or be a creepy stalker, search around and see if they have a LinkedIn or Facebook. The key here is to figure out where they are coming from. Step number 2, check the information. Do the sources used relate to the topic of this article? You should definitely use a fact-checking website like Snopes, PolitiFact, and even factcheck.org to help locate truthful information in an article. And lastly, step number 3, be aware of your own biases. When we read or listen to something, we tend to do so with our own prejudices. We look at the information to see if it relates to our own biases. It is easy to jump to conclusion based on said bias. Battle them by expanding the sources you read, open up to different points of view, and read counterpoints to the points being made in an article. Keeping yourself in the loop is very important, and having truthful news is equally so. So the next time you come across a big headline on social media, do some research using the previously mentioned steps. It will help you save a bunch of things. Now on to the next segment. Whatever it is, I honestly have no idea. Dang.
Thanks, Nick. With the election just around the corner, it's more important than ever to make sure that you are seeing and trusting real news and not something that's fake. So I'm going to be taking the Spot the Troll quiz on spotthetroll.org to see if I can tell what is real and what is fake. Alright guys, so I'm going to be taking the Spot the Troll quiz here on spotthetroll.org from Clemson University. So we're going to be trying to spot the fake social media profile or the troll account. So to start here, we have Harmony Anderson. It says that she is a college girl from Iowa, right? And she follows some accounts and is following some, so it's a Twitter, right? So it appears that she posts a lot of political content, especially biased political content favoring one side. So that's kind of suspicious. However, I think that it might be real because she has a real name and a real location. So I think that it's legit. Oh, so we've got it wrong. So Harmony is a troll account that is attributed to the Russian Internet Research Agency in March 2020. So the account has been suspended from Twitter. So it is a troll account. Ooh. Alright, so I guess there was not enough personal info. So, and she didn't post anything other than politics, no There's nothing to identify her with her family, schoolwork, friends, pets, anything like that. So that's a good point to make. And she's trying to connect to a community and her target audience. Yeah, so that is a troll account. I just was not able to spot it. So next up here, we have a Facebook account. We have Christopher Warwick from Columbia City, Indiana. This one, I got the other one wrong, so who knows? But this one looks a little bit more real. He's got, as long as it's him, he's got a picture of his family and stuff like that. Ooh, but we do have political content. He's posting some political stuff. Oh, but here we go. Here's a picture about his personal life. So I think that's something that was missing from the last account, which makes me think that this is way more likely to be real. All right, and yeah, I think this is another thing from his own thing. Talking about places for lunch. Oh, and then here's something that's another kind of political thing, but from the opposite side. So that makes me think that this one is legit. Yes, all right, we got this one right. So this is not a troll account. Chris is a real person. He is a kind husband and father living in Columbia City, Indiana. Indiana. Oh, man. All right, so we can confirm he is real because we know him personally. Yeah, that's a good thing. So yeah, he posted about his life. It was not just political content. That was good that I had spotted that, and he had his multidimensional views. I also brought that up. We brought up both of the points. So he had politics that he was posting kind of from both sides. So he's not just, purely biased. All right, so I think now we're going to skip ahead and see how well I did for my quiz results. All right, so I have finished the quiz. I got a 6 out of 8. So I got one more question wrong throughout the whole thing. I was obviously going for an 8 out of 8, but I guess I'll have to take it. So I hope that you all go and do this quiz on spotthetroll.org to see how well you guys will be able to spot fake social media accounts. It's especially more important now than ever with the election coming up. I feel like fake social media accounts and stuff are just getting more and more prominent and relevant, and they're just being seen so much more online. I know I've seen them more, you all probably have too, and it's more important now than ever to make sure that you're looking at stuff that is actually real. As you all just saw, I got a 6 out of 8 on the Spot the Troll quiz. It's not the outcome I was going for, but I guess I'll have to take it. If you all choose to go and do the Spot the Troll quiz on spotthetroll.org, I certainly hope that you all get a perfect 8 out of 8 to show that you guys will not be impacted by fake news here in today's world. But now let's go take it over to Ian and Daniel as they talk about hybrid learning.
What are the classrooms going to look like?
What's the schedule for A days and B days? Hey, I have to use the bathroom.
What will lunch look like?
Can I still go to the water
What's
fountain?
going to be our daily schedule
How
for
would
classes?
I get to my
Can I
locker?
still talk to my friends in
And
the
what
halls?
about our water
Can I
bottles?
bring
Can
my
I still go to the
flask?
bathroom?
So, hybrid learning. Yeah. I'm glad you could meet us here for Tribe Talk, and I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions in this interview.
Yeah, Ian, definitely be happy to answer any questions I can. Excited to have everybody back into the building. I think that's something that we've all been looking forward to.
Yep, that's gonna be great. What's the situation with the hallway?
Everybody's going to have to stay to their right, and there are signs galore throughout the building, but as you walk through the halls, social distance. We will not be able to have any kind of loitering or gathering in groups in the halls. We have a limited amount of time between classes. It's a 3-minute passing period.
All right, what about lockers? Like, what are people gonna have to do for lockers?
Okay, lockers, great question. So we are going to provide 3 opportunities a day to go to the locker. Your first opportunity to go to the locker is very beginning when you arrive. So you'll go to your locker, drop off your coat, your bag, your cell phone, take what you need to class. Then another opportunity will be provided around the 4th period time frame. and then again at the end of the day on your way out. We're going to have a staggered dismissal. Juniors and seniors will be dismissed about a minute before the other students, and then we're going to separate by students that ride the bus versus students that get picked up. And you'll go to your locker at the end of the day.
What's the situation with lunch and breakfast?
Yeah, so breakfast is going to be a grab and go to your first hour class. You will be able to eat breakfast in your first hour class, but ideally it's going to be, you're going to finish it before the class begins. Again, it's all about the mask right now, so you need to limit the amount of time that you have your mask off while you're eating. Lunch is going to be grab and go on your way out of the building. So when you are dismissed, you'll go to your locker, grab what you need, and then on the way out, you're going to run through the cafeteria. It'll be set up a little bit differently than what we're used to. It'll be bagged up already, and you'll pick up a bagged lunch and you'll head outside.
Sounds good. What is the situation with like in classrooms?
Okay, so seating, we have desks separated much further than what you'd be expected or what you're used to. Desks are set up about 6 feet apart from each other. And I should note also, there's been a lot of questions. Whether you are an in-person student or a remote student, you're following that same new hybrid schedule. So it starts at 7:35 and ends at 12:35.
What are the expectations for the bathroom?
Bathroom expectations. So again, going back to the fact that we need a social distance, we're limiting 3 people per bathroom at any time. We are also asking students, again, because of passing periods, there's just no time to go. Number one, to go use the restroom and still get to class on time. So obviously there's emergencies and we'll deal with that, but passing period, expectation is no restrooms. And then during Zoom time, the expectation is no restrooms. Outside of any kind of emergencies, we are social distancing sinks and all of the urinals and things like that. Regarding water fountains, you'll find when you enter the building, all of the water fountains are off limits, but we have added a number of bottle filling stations. And we are actually in the process of maybe even adding a couple more near the cafeteria.
What are our expectations for attendance in Zoom and in person?
If you're not feeling well, you're not able to self-certify that day because you have symptoms, your family, your parents, guardians would contact Ms. Rafferty, and then you, as a student, would have to advocate for yourself with your teachers, go into Zoom and say, hey, I'm supposed to be in class today, but I have a sore throat, that's why I'm not here.
All right, that completes our interview with Mr. Woodrum. On to you, Taylor.
Thanks, Daniel and Ian. We are glad to have our questions about hybrid learning answered. With not being at school, you may not have the opportunity to know the new teachers around here. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Today we're going to take it to Mrs. Brown, who is a new special education teacher here at MHS.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Brown. I'm the new special education teacher here at Mascoutah High School. I currently teach English 203 and co-teach English 3. I'm super excited to be a part of this tribe here at Mascoutah. I recently graduated with my master's in special education from Fontbonne University in St. Louis. I am a mom of 3 boys, 3rd grade, 6th grade, and a sophomore in high school. I love to camp, go on adventures, and I love to travel. I look forward to getting to know you through the year, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Mrs. Brown. We are glad to introduce you to the student body. Next, we're going to take it to JC, who is going to be sharing some information about our new biomed classes.
We have a new class this year at MHS that might pique your interest and be beneficial to you. We'll be taking a look at the biomed class and see what it's about.
Hi everybody, this is Mrs Heffernan. I'm here to tell you a little bit about Principles of Biomedical Science, or as we like to call it, PBS. So PBS is a class that is broken down into 4 units. The first unit is called Medical Investigation, and in that unit, We are doing things like forensic science. We are processing a crime scene. We're using all the clues we can find at the crime scene to try to solve a mystery, including things like running a DNA profile and analyzing blood spatter and all that cool stuff. The second unit is called clinical care, and this is about how doctors' offices function, what kind of skills you need to be a doctor or a nurse, how to take certain vital signs, and giving you a little bit of a background on that. The third unit is called Outbreaks and Emergencies, and let me tell you, that could not be more applicable than it is this year. We are dealing with definitely an outbreak and an emergency right now. And so we learn about how professionals handle medical emergencies, whether they are EMTs or paramedics, or whether they are people like contact tracers and people who work for the public health department who try to mitigate these sorts of issues. The fourth unit is called Innovation Inc., and this is about how we do bioengineering. And so this is going to be dealing with things like what kind of lessons can I learn from other living animals, and how can I use that to create some sort of medicine that's going to help people? How can I design a better capsule that will be easier for people to swallow? Questions like that, where we are trying to engineer a solution to a biological problem. And so if any of that sounds appealing to you, you can take Principles of Biomedical Science. And if you like this class, you can even take the second year biomed class called Human Body Systems. Mrs. Buddy teaches that one, and that's going to get more in depth on the human body and how the human body works.
Hi guys, I'm Mrs. Buddy. I'm teaching one of the new classes here at Mascoutah High School. It's a project Lead the Way Human Body Systems, or just also abbreviated as HBS. In this class, we're going to explore the structure and function of the human body. We're going to figure out what makes every human the same and what makes us each unique. We're going to study the different body systems, the organs that make them up, and the functions of the systems and the functions of the organs. And we're going to do that through dissections, through different lab activities that are unique to this class, and different disease mysteries. And it's a lot of research on your own. So it's a lot of self-taught method as well in this class. Different things we'll be doing with the skeletal system. We'll take bones, and we're going to try and solve a murder mystery. So we're going to learn how to measure bones, figure out the age, the sex, and the race of the individual. We'll do some DNA sampling as well to match the identity of the unknown individual as well. We'll also be doing some mannequin builds. This is a mannequin that's used in the anatomy of clay system. So throughout the school year in this class, they'll take clay and build the different body organs. We'll put muscles on there, nerves, blood vessels. So we'll learn the anatomy of the body through building it through the anatomy in clay system. We're going to do some brain mapping, reflex labs, and again, lots of dissections and projects to help you learn about the human body. So I hope that helps you out, whether or not you want to decide to take the class next year. But it's our first year, so you can always stop by room 280 and see what we're up to.
Thank you, Ms. Heffernan and Ms. Buddy. I hope you both have a great time teaching your class this school year.